Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's hard otherwise. You've got to have the resources to be ripped. I found that. It's like, you know. No, man. Yeah, no, that's, I mean, I don't even know if that's a real quote or not. That might be a fake quote, but I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard she said that, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. You know. Yeah. Well, you know, they always say in terms of the old classics, there's what happens and there's what do you do about it, or you know, and part of that is how do you feel about it. And I think that, you know, maybe some of these emotions are being encouraged a little bit the wrong way, you know. So, like, you're supposed to be more of a mess about everything, you know. You're not supposed to be more of someone who can make sure that, you know, there's no mess or people aren't a mess or whatever, right? So, I think maybe there's some confusion in that area. Sure. They pick a theme? Yeah. Sure. Right. 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 Right.
So you walk away and make her think that you got a crush on her.
Right. Ah, the big ofer. Sure. Sure. Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Right. 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 No, but that's hilarious to wake up to that and just be like, "What the hell?" On the road, and not in your own. Like for a second, you're thinking, "Uh oh, what the hell's happening?" Yeah. Right. 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 I think so. I think sometimes the proper course of action is paralysis when it comes to some of these subjects that are being broken down. Is just a an inability, saying the right thing you can't do. It's kind of boring. It's kind of cliche, or or it makes you look like you're trying too hard. Saying the wrong thing's out of the question. And so I think when sometimes these things come up, is just a total kind of politically correct paralysis. Right. Right. Yeah. Yes, because it's the safest thing to do is to be paralyzed. Well, think about when something comes up, right? Especially in larger and larger mixed company, and if you add more and more of those things, then that's where the safest thing to do is say nothing, but you still want to communicate, and that's where we run into all sorts of problems, right? So, yeah, it's just a total politically correct paralysis that leads to not being able to communicate verbally. And then just aggro, sketchy physical communication. So, like, I might be piling on, but okay, the Colonel's there. The Colonel's in broad strokes. You're talking about broad strokes, of course. I don't think we always have to speak in broad strokes, man. I think that's going too far, but broad strokes is fine, sure. Nope. Well, you know what? Paralysis is fashionable, and I think, sometimes, it's best to say nothing when there's nothing to say. However, I think that it also is a step away from making something that comes up cool, right? So, in the specific sense, I think it's obviously something to employ, but generalized out, every time something happens, is that what you're supposed to do? You see? Like, basically, basically, totally. Yeah, or you must have some proactive way to deal with this, to address it, or do something about it. And that's what I'm saying is that, it's like the too much or too little, right? Obviously, they're both bad, but with too much, you can scale back. With too little, can you pick it up? So if it's like, uh-oh, this subject matter, oh, don't say anything. Uh-oh, this, don't say anything. Uh-oh, that, don't say anything. Uh-oh, somebody said, uh-oh, don't say anything. Then, is that just what you do for everything? Right? So, Right. Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
I think it's called highway something. So you used to call it something else. It's a highway.
Well, I think there's a number of things that you do there's a number of things you do to kind of make sure that they're on the up and up, so that you can have a broader context, right? Because otherwise you get jumpy over everything and you can't do or say anything, right? So I think there's a broader context to look at when it comes to all these things. But yeah, the fashionable political paralysis, I think, is the key, in the sense that just keep expanding that, and then can't say nothing about nothing, which means you can't make anybody feel worse. So there's that, but you also can't make anybody feel better. So you just kind of stuck with this stuff you feel bad about, feeling bad, make people feel bad or whatever, right? I would say tact over fact, and I would say polite. Not politically correct per se, but polite is good. And so, what I'm saying is it's a conversation. I wouldn't want to see one eliminated completely, right? Like, even if you're pro-choice, you should still respect the pro-life position, and there's a check and balance on the excesses of pro-choice to the point where you can kill babies after they're born and sell their organs and stuff, right? So there should be some check and balance on. So I would say more is better, but you also have the option to kind of go, nah, we just won't get into that topic. Like, this came up with the Joe Rogan and the AJ kind of experience, and it's like, where do we go from there? There's all sorts of bad places to go. There may be a couple of good places to go, but you should always keep the option to kind of go, no, I can, help clean this up, as opposed to, uh-oh, mess, don't say anything, right? Because then that just becomes a lifestyle, right? Yeah, well, I think you have to. Like, I don't think you can take. I think you can take a position. Look, I'm talking about to sort of cater to the ideology. I'm not talking about as a human being with some, abilities to nuance things. But I'm saying if you pledge allegiance to a certain ideology, sometimes they only want you to pledge it a certain way, in kind of a communistic kind of the globalist radical left type stuff. So my argument would be to, somebody like that is say, no, you need to have much more discipline about your belief in your position and much more empathy towards the other side as a check on the excesses of thinking one way. So, right. Right.
How often?
Yeah, you know what? Because it's more about what things mean as opposed to what they are, especially when you're talking more around than about, right? So, the amount that we're saying this, that, and that about the other isn't necessarily the amount where we respect each other, but respect ourselves and can frame our thoughts accordingly. It's more, what does this mean in the broader sense of a secret power dynamic, right? But that's why, again, it can't all be in broad strokes, right? Broad strokes will get you in trouble sometimes. So. Yeah. Right. That's an interesting question. That one's got to be new. Sure. Yep. Right. Ooh.
By extinct. But then
This is everywhere? Yo, man, you there? Ah, sweet mango. Yep, I can hear you now. I know not what happened there. It's a Lord Bell. Lord Bell, why hast thou forsaken me? So that's all good. Belajandro, Belajandro, making my phone go. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and they have a weird dynamic, you know, like AJ tries too hard as an alpha, Rogan's kind of the stabilizer, but those two on their own are kind of a little oil and water at times, funny at times, but other times it's like you can just see these two getting pissed at each other, you know. There's not like a cool guy in the middle, you know. Yeah, he's cool, he's smart, but he's not as quick as AJ and Joe, and you've got some friends like that. And so I think that they would have an issue. Yeah, no, it's to force you to think about it from that perspective too, you know,